Hey besties, I'm Jet.
And I'm Victoria.
And
welcome to the Book Besteas Podcast,
where the books are good
the takes are honest.
and the tea is always hot.
Today we are chatting about Crown of Midnight, Book 2 of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Let's learn more secrets about the Kingdom of Glass.
This book involves a lot more revelations about identity. And do you feel like it impacted the plot or the pacing?
Absolutely, because we could have gotten more information about the characters. Instead, we got a lot more things being revealed along the way. I did feel like I was picking up breadcrumbs, which was kind of fun. But at the same time, let's get to learn more about these characters. How about for you?
I would agree with what you said. I feel like with Throne of Glass, it was more of a chapter of her life that we saw, but we never really got into the part of like who she is and even the other characters. So I think to me, it's kind of like this is the book where it starts kind of making sense and it makes you more intrigued to like what's coming next as well.
So right from the get-go, she is now the king's champion, and she's sent out to do all of these basically assassinations. We find out that she wasn't. Were you surprised that she wasn't actually killing
I
the
wasn't surprised at all.
people?
I mean, I feel like there was a part of like, well, she's an assassin in the first place, so I don't think it's going to be hard for her to do the job, especially with Kale's life on the line
Yeah.
after like at the ending of book 1 Throne of Glass. And so I was like, okay, like I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up actually killing those people, but it also didn't surprise me that she wouldn't, because I feel like especially when you read The Assassin's Blade first, which how we did it, we get a glimpse of how she thinks and who she is as a person.
Absolutely. And for me, it was exactly the same too. I also love that she evaluated each person, kind of like observing them for a bit and then giving them a chance to escape, otherwise doing her job.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the beginning of when she comes back after like an assassination and Kale and how she
Oh
how
my
she was
God.
perceived by Kale every time she comes back from the assassination. What are your thoughts with that?
Okay, I was on the Kale frustration train, and I did not get off by the end of this book. And it just kept getting worse and worse because Kale,
Throughout the series,
throughout the
right?
series and within this book too, because he just is so quick to judge her and treat her like a monster.
Absolutely.
Even though, for one, he already knew that she was an assassin. Like,
Right.
What did he expect? Even if she did kill the people, what did she expect? She knew that she's going to be the king's champion. And 3 is that it's the king who's deciding who gets killed, not her.
Right. There was a part where he said, "Are you still acting like the king's champion or are you back to being Celaena?" That frustrated me a lot in a sense of like, why do you have to see Celaena as a person and an assassin as two different things?
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel like that was who Celaena was ever since you met her at Endovier. Nothing has changed
Nothing.
since Throne of Glass. What's going on?
Yep, exactly. I also got really frustrated with Nehemia. Because as her quote unquote best friend right now, I feel like she should have had the benefit of the doubt. Like we thought, as readers thought that, oh, there's no way that she would be killing these people. Why wouldn't Nehemia even just ask her, like, are you? But no, she went right into like, are you really doing this? Like,
I think that Nehemia in the first book was already having these secrets, these, like you said, breadcrumbs of, of who she is as a character in Celaena's life.
yeah.
But I feel like she didn't really have that growth in this book. Like I thought something was gonna change, a little bit because of after what happened in book 1, and yet we're kind of like back to square one of trying to read what's up with Nehemia.
Right. So now let's talk about Dorian and his magic. Were you surprised that he has magic?
Yes,
Yeah, me too.
I was like, oh, because like he developed magic even before we know that like Aelin has magic.
Right.
There was no one else who had magic, especially in this continent, right? Because we're, obviously like magic is how do you say that?
Suppressed?
Yeah. because of the obsidian towers, right? And the fact that he has magic out of everyone else, I was like, oh my gosh. Like now we're getting into fantasy mode.
Yeah. And also, we got no hint that he would even be able to have any
Mm-hmm.
sort of magic.
Yep.
Or I don't know, maybe along the way, if you guys think otherwise, drop in the comments if you saw that there were some Easter eggs, because I didn't. I didn't find any either. Yeah. And when he punched the wall, I felt like that was such a pivotal moment for him, because along the way we were talking about, and we kind of debated a little bit about how much agency he felt like he had as a crown prince. And I felt like at that moment when he got so incredibly frustrated, one, obviously, is because of what Nehemiah said. It framed it as like, oh, you have a lot more power than you think you do. And also what I think Aelin was telling him in the first book. But aside from that, is he's starting to realize that he should be taking a stand regardless of whether he thinks he has power. And when he tried and he failed, it was very frustrating.
Right. And we see it happen again when they went underground and then looking at the prisons.
Right.
And then there was this like creature, right? We see Dorian's magic again. And then, of course, when Nehemiah died and when Celaena almost killed Kale, Dorian's magic is there again. In this book, we just know that he has magic, but he can't control it yet until like the circumstances asks for it.
That's actually a really interesting way you frame it. The circumstances ask for it. Because, right, like when he gets that frustrated, it's almost like his intentions or his emotions are very much aligned with the situation. It's not him against anyone. It's him on behalf of the people, on behalf of the greater good.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I love that thought. And yeah, now going back to that point about when they were in the dungeons and then he saw that creature, I felt like it was a reflection to him too of what he could potentially become if he didn't take full control of his magic.
Right.
Because that being wanted to die. It was relieved when they finally killed it.
Yeah. Absolutely. In this book, we get to meet another character, which is Archer. He is a rebel, but he was also a courtesan that Celaena has met years ago when she was still with Arabin. What was your first impression with Archer?
I felt like he was a smooth talker. Something was off about him. Like, why is he so smoothly just inching his way back into her life all of a sudden?
Absolutely.
Because we started with Assassin's Blade, so there was no mention of him. Like, why? It kind of felt like in the ACOTAR series with Ianthe just suddenly showing up in Springcourt, even though apparently they've known each other for forever.
Right.
Yeah. How about you?
I never trusted the guy. I was just like, okay, maybe you're good, but I don't know. I just couldn't trust him fully.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was in the circle of like Arabin and stuff like that, to me, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he started talking about Sam as well, and I don't like that because he was like, oh, like I heard about Sam. I'm so sorry about it. But like, you never really did anything, It's like,
it's already been so long, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you really cared, where were you? Then when we meet him, she kind of has a different reaction than I anticipated her to have, though. She almost gave the feeling that she kind of liked him. Did you get that vibe from her?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think I misread that then.
Okay.
Now we're going into Nehemiah's friendship and her resulting death. There's a lot tied to it. It's very heavy. It's a huge pivotal moment for Aelin. They've had multiple conversations about sharing truths, and neither party has actually truly shared everything. How did you feel about that?
Again, I'm going back to what I said earlier of feeling like we're still back to square one, even after what happened in Throne of Glass. It's like, are you ever going to trust each other fully? Like, what kind of friendship is this? Because I feel like you're stuck there, it's not growing.
Yeah.
And so now that I think more and more about it, and you could hate me for it, but I feel like, yeah, like if it's not going to grow, then might as well Nehemia dies.
Ooh, okay.
Because if it's not,
right.
like it's not the friendship that Aelin needs anyways.
That's a really good point. Is at what point does Nehemia become more of a burden than someone who is of emotional support?
Because you get to a point of frustration when someone just keeps on saying half the truth.
Yeah.
It's like in the beginning, like, sure, whatever, if you're still building that trust. But imagine another year of that person, like, always just being that kind of, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, like, I'm done with this.
And the judging on top of that.
Absolutely.
I also want to talk about her whole sacrifice, Nehemia's sacrifice of her life in this context, because not just the process, but the whole point of it. Like, I understand Elena's the arbitrator of this whole situation, but Nehemia went with it. And as a friend, if I were in Nehemia's shoes, I feel like it would be so devastating to my friend to be put in the position of seeing my death as a reason to like do something she doesn't really want to do, which is like live that fate that Elena's putting her through.
Right.
And I feel like if you were a true friend, instead you would have a deep conversation. You would try harder to convince her that that's the right path for her. And Nehemia didn't, in my mind.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like they didn't have that friendship, you know?
Yeah.
So in the
I'm more
place.
convinced now by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you surprised when Nehemia died?
I kind of saw it coming in terms of her eventually dying, but I didn't think it would be that way. I felt like it was really stupid of a setup for Archer and Grave to be the motive or the driver behind her death.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like she could have had it be like she was trying to look into some deep information and then someone caught her and they killed her.
Right.
Something like that.
I thought that when Elena said, you know, do what needs to be done, I thought something was going to happen for sure, but I didn't believe that she was actually dead.
Okay.
I had a moment of like, oh, she's probably just like pretending that she's dead. And maybe like, you know, it will be revealed at the end of the book that, you know, hey, like I'm actually alive. But it never came.
No.
And I was like, until I saw Nehemia's like spirit, I was like, oh my gosh, she's actually dead.
That was crazy. That was crazy because in that moment, I did not expect Aelin to feel that devastated to use that opportunity to risk summoning Nehemia. Because she knew that it could bring more Valg into this world.
And like, honestly, like if you could summon anyone, why not summon Sam?
Oh, that's so true.
I know that you were emotional when you read about Nehemia's death.
Yes,
right?
I was.
But again, like to me, I was like, no, there's no way she's dead. So I wasn't really sad until she's actually dead. But then by that time,
you
like,
already accepted
right, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if she would summon anyone, like Nehemia, really?
That's true.
It could have been her mom. It could have been whoever, right?
Right. There's so many people, honestly. And then on top of that, I understand it was a powerful quote that Nehemia said, don't let your light out. But she kind of knew that already, I think, you know?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as deep as Sam's I won't be afraid.
Yeah. I wonder why she never did summon Sam at all.
That's true.
A cameo would have been nice.
I
know. What about Kale being blamed for Nehemia's death?
Okay, I felt like that was a huge overreaction.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I understand that he kind of knew some information, but it was more so just like a general warning. And he didn't know the depths of which Nehemia was involved in weird marks and all of the other murders and such. So to me, he just thought like, oh, okay, like, yeah, sure, I guess she's, like everyone's in danger in this kingdom.
Right.
How about you?
It was one of my favorite scenes in this book.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I literally wrote it down, and I think it's probably because it was written so well. Like, I understand that it was like, you know, maybe, yeah, overreacting of like having that urge to kill Kale. But I think because it was sort of like delusional, like that the half of the book was kind of delusional to me. Like I wasn't buying it. It was like really like you're gonna fall in love with Kale. Like, and we talked about this in book 1 of like you would not progress with Dorian because he's the crown prince. Like nothing really changed. And then you gonna fall in love with Kale, who is also, you know, like the Kingsguard at Otterland. So like then it doesn't make sense to me. Like you're still sleeping with the devil. Yeah. Regardless if it's Dorian or Kale. Like, how is it any better, right? And then to me, it's like finally when she realized that Kale will always be her enemy, I think that says a lot about like, girl, now you woke up. Yeah. Ooh, I loved when she said she would never in 1,000 lifetimes let him in again.
That was really strong.
That was really strong, but I'm like, don't say I didn't tell you.
I mean, we were on the Kale frustration train.
Yeah. What did you feel when Kale stopped talking to her after that whole thing?
It's so Kale of him. I think that he's someone who always reverts to just sulking. I mean, right at the beginning, he was already sulking with her. Yeah. So it wasn't a surprise. At the same time, let's talk about Dorian again, because even after all this, like, first of all, in that moment, the fact that he used his magic unknowingly
Kale.
Yes, and really in a way to save Aelin.
Yeah.
Because Celaena is very emotional. So she went for the kill, if you will, but she wouldn't have really wanted to kill Kale. Or do you think in that moment she really wanted?
I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
I think again, like it's an overreaction, you know?
Yeah.
But and so she might have really felt, but I understand what you're saying, that if she actually did, it would have ruined her too, you know?
Yes, it would have ruined her too. So I feel like in that moment, Dorian was saving both of them.
Yeah, Dorian was very neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he saved Kale, but then he's also not gonna tolerate Kale.
Right. He
Yeah.
didn't baby him. He called him out.
He called him out when Kale actually asked Dorian about Celaena. And Dorian was like, she's coping. But since I knew you were too proud to ask, no, she hasn't mentioned you, nor do I think she will.
Right.
And like, to me, first of all, Kale, why don't you just ask Celaena yourself? Or at least try to. Then again, you mentioned, you know, Kale being Kale. And I like that Dorian's like in your face, you know, like he's like, no, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're done. You're done. And also how Celaena could find refuge with Dorian, even after the whole relationship thing with Kale.
Archer and Grave. Celaena ended up killing actually both of them.
Both of them.
How did you feel about that?
First of all, with Grave being the one to actually kill Nehemia, so sad. And also because he's not even a significant champion at this point.
For me too. I was like, all right, like he killed Nehemia, but
so what?
So what?
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, but with Archer though, I was so incredibly frustrated when she almost didn't kill him.
Me too. I was like, oh my god.
Like you're gonna let him go after that?
Absolutely.
But you would have. But at the same time, I'm also like, you would have killed Kale for not informing. But then the person who actually orchestrated this, you're not going to kill him.
So I'm glad that she actually did kill Archer.
Yes.
And then again, Kale judged her for that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Kale.
I know.
Can he every single moment?
He's so judgmental.
So judgmental. And then she killed some guards too, and then he was judgmental about that too. And I'm like, boy. And also just going off, one more thing about the Kale thing too is, as the commander of the guard, the King's Guard, did he not ever think that he's going to have to kill someone at some point? Like just because in the last book he killed someone for her who was one of the...
And that was the first kill that he
ever in his life. Yeah. Like, what did he think he was signing up for?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Let's talk about the revelations that, you know, we read in this book. Because of Archer, we realized that the rebels are actually much more organized than they appear. Let's start with, because like one thing that stood out to me when it came to that was that they actually know that Aelin Galathynius is alive, and they're trying to put her back on the throne. And then Celaena was like, but like she's dead. And then she was like, there's an imposter? Right? And I was like, okay, like it's kind of like, now she is intrigued. I feel like that, whoever thought of that, whoever orchestrated that, is genius, because that is exactly the kind of thing that would make Celaena / Aelin snap.
Yeah.
And they got her on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially since she's so, which understandably, but she's so proud of herself.
Absolutely. And
so
that is a very like smart thing to do, to really like get in her head.
Yeah, and then to get her to admit who she is.
Absolutely. And I feel like, to me, that's why like Nehemia's death is so freaking stupid. Because like, dude, like if you actually know how Aelin thinks, it's not really those moments, you know? It's like those moments that challenges her.
Yeah.
Like outsmarting her. That's Aelin.
Yes. All about that strategizing.
Yes. And like that is this very small thing when no one had to die.
It's frustrating. But yes, so they were much more organized than they appeared to be. I was at that moment shocked that there was even some sort of rebel movement at all, because we didn't get any hint of it in the last two books, in the prequel and the first book. But at the same time, I was like, Archer? Really? This guy who seems like he just came out of nowhere, doesn't seem very smart. He's somehow one of the leaders of this rebel group? Like, come on.
Right. But at least we also got to meet Ren.
Yes,
and
Murtagh.
Murtagh, yeah.
What were your first impressions of them?
Nothing.
Same.
Nothing. I was just like, oh, okay. Like one of the rebels. Probably one of, you know, but they're nobles. We know,
we
they're
find
lords.
out.
Yeah, we will find out. But
Yeah.
that's it. Like, I didn't really think that they were gonna have like a big role
Right. And
later in the books.
yeah, same. Were you shocked that she could shapeshift?
To being Fae?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too. When she did, I was like, oh my. And the process of shapeshifting, how painful it was. Oh my goodness.
It was like, oh my gosh, like I kind of knew that like maybe like she would have that power, because like you know how like Dorian has the power but he's
Right.
not Fae,
Right.
and then she's Fae. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
But then Kale was like again judging her, like, what the fuck.
Oh my god. I just cannot with Kale. I cannot.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's talk about Yellow Legs.
That
That was like a key moment, getting to know her and like the mirrors at the carnival, and then Dorian going to Baba Yellow Legs, and then Celaena later on going to her, getting a glimpse of the future and stuff. And then that's when we read about Nameless is my prize. And then nothing really like was revealed. And then so she just like killed Baba Yellow Legs.
Yeah. That was a wild fight.
That was a wild fight.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's so good. And I was already like, Aylin, are you sure you want to like walk that deep into her wig?
Right. But I think it's a really smooth introduction to the witches.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I like that. And then she becomes like witch killer, right?
Yeah. And the fact that even the king was somehow involved with Yellow Legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, like there's some sort of tie here.
And that is so interesting how the Baba Yellow Legs mirror thing didn't really like I was always like, it was always been a question mark, because like even in the next books that the witches are talked about, like it wasn't really revealed why there's this like mirror thing going on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't revealed till like the last book, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
that came so
Wow.
full circle. It made sense. SJM dropping all these hints along the way.
So then Kale sending Aelin away to Wenlin. During this time, he decided that he wants to send her away because she's Fae, and he wants her to be as far as possible from the king and Otterlin.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, to me, I was like, Kale, why are you like deciding for her? You know? It's
Yes. I was really frustrated. As someone who supposedly loved her that deeply, you should have a conversation with her first.
Right.
And knowing her so well, too, she's not the type to want to follow someone else's heed or fate.
Yeah.
Like she would want to decide for herself.
Until later we found out that it was
meant to be.
It was meant to be. But what did you feel when Kale talked to his father and said, send Celaena to Wenlin, and in exchange, I'll go back to Anyel and be Lord.
Yeah. In Kale's mindset, I could see that he truly believed he's sacrificing for her and that he's somehow making up for his wrongdoings, if you will, with the whole Nehemia thing. But to me, objectively speaking, so what?
Right. It's like something that he's doing to make him sleep at night.
Yes, to make himself feel better. But does it really actually help Aelin?
And again, Dorian saw that. And Dorian even said, if anything happens to her in Wenlin, I'll make you regret the day you were born.
Oof. Dorian's
just like stepping up.
Oh, he's always been up.
He's always been up, but like stepping up even more.
At least to Kale for sure.
Absolutely. I feel like we always have seen his potential, but like now he's like, dude.
Yeah. Oh, and then at one point later on, so now we can move on to the Sorsha thing too. We also start to see that Kale and others start noticing that Dorian's stepping up.
Absolutely.
And Kale literally says, now I see a king.
Now let's talk about then Dorian and Aelin's relationship. In the beginning of the book, there's still some painful moments for me, especially with like, obviously like Dorian's POV of like how he's still hurt from what happened. He was thinking if whatever he had with Celaena is even real at all, if it really meant anything. He still hanging on to the fact that Celaena said they could be friends, and at that time I was like, Dorian just needed a friend, but then Celaena was pushing him away. It was mentioned in the book that like, oh, she wanted freedom that he could never give her. Like, I understand that, but like, again, going back to like, so then why Kale?
Why Kale?
Yeah.
And I was so heartbroken at that point where you're saying that he was doubting whether whatever they had was real. And even though he had those doubts, he could still be such a good friend to both of them.
Absolutely. She was giving him like those answers like, leave me alone, and like, why are you here? Don't you have like, any better things to do and stuff like that? And then there was one quote when Dorian said, you know nothing about what I wanted. You didn't give me the chance to tell you.
Aww.
And that hurts so much because I feel like Dorian is definitely so mature. Like,
Yeah.
of like how like emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature that
Right.
he knows the rejection is there, but he's also like just asking for a moment that he wishes he could have told her. Like that would have been enough for him.
Yes.
Yes,
like he still advocates for himself in a very respectful way, but also
Absolutely.
understanding that it's over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going back to when Dorian saw the dance between Kale and Aelin.
Oh.
And then he had a talk with Nehemia too, right? That was painful to me. Especially when Nehemia was like, they
Don't
would never.
interfere.
Yeah, it's the responsibilities that we have, they wouldn't understand. And even if they do, they would not want it. That's when the moment was like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to be Dorian and it's so hard to be like a princess, right? And I was like, do you think Dorian would even have found his happiness again? It was painful for sure. But it was also a time when he told himself he's gonna move on.
Yeah.
And it was so painful when he said he deserves someone who would look at him like that. Well, the way Celaena looked at Kale.
No.
Even if the love wouldn't be the same, even if the girl wouldn't be her. And then he let her go.
Oh.
I know, that was painful. We also had like a little bit of like, I don't know if you would call this an Easter egg, but like when he was looking at like the books, trying to find out about his magic, right? And
Well, he was looking at family histories.
and then he thought of Aelin, and then he was like, I wonder what Aelin would be. Would she be an ally? Would she be a bride? And I was like, oh my God. And then when he told Kale to treat her well,
Dorian, the man he is.
oh, and they had this like conversation with Kale too. When he said that I saw you looking at Aelin during the masquerade ball, then he asked her to dance and said, and then Kale was like, well, what? And you still dance with her, like even knowing that? These guys don't have bro code at this point. I'm like,
no,
bruh,
they
like how dare you ask that of Dorian? But like you literally went with,
yeah, exactly.
After the whole Nehemia's death and stuff like that, what was your reaction when Celaena went back to Dorian and like, as friends, but like now she's finally talking to him. Now she's finally like having dinner with him.
Yeah, and he's always like, you will always have a home here.
Right, that's cute. But like to me, I was like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my God.
Yeah, I feel like you hurt him that much, and then now you want someone to go to, you need someone to go to, and then you're leaning back on him. It's not fair to him.
It's not fair. It's like he wanted to be friends with you. You could have been friends with him.
And where were you when he needed you? We talked a lot about how he's shown up for both of them, even for Nehemia. When have they shown up for him?
Yeah.
I can't think of a moment. Can you?
No, not really at this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It broke my heart when she said, because I have nowhere else to go. It's valid, poor girl, but then also like, I have nowhere else to go because he's been there all along and you treated him like trash.
Yep.
She did.
She did. She absolutely did.
Let's be real.
Yep, I'm being real.
I'm like, only Aelin Galathinius could do that to Dorian. No other girl could have done that to Dorian. Let's be honest. So to me, I like Celaena and I like Aelin so much that even if she messes up, to me it's like, okay, like you're gonna grow, you're young, it's like it's part of the like I don't like that you did that, but also I'm glad she's realizing it now. And I feel like this is such a pivotal moment for what Dorian and Aelin is gonna have with their relationship later on, which then makes sense when she said to Dorian, I'll come back for you when she gets sent to Winland, right? And I feel like, well, now because she learned that Dorian would always be there for her, now she finally accepted that, like, okay, like I would be there for him too. I will come back for him.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. It's all part of the plot. It's all part of their growth.
Yeah.
That she treated him like trash. And
her growth.
Yeah, her growth.
Yeah, he was already amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like he needed to hear that from Aelin too, from Celaena/Aelin.
That's true.
Like that she's gonna come back. Like someone's gonna come back for him. And we feel like he needed that his whole life.
He did.
Have someone who would say that to him, that they're gonna come back for him or like they're there for him, because he never really got that. Like, I know that Kale and Dorian is a thing, but again, like Kale is just the type who would never like say shit like that. It's like he's too proud to say those things.
He's too proud.
And at this point, he still wasn't sure where his loyalties lie.
Yeah.
Is it a king of Otterland? Is it with Celaena? Is it
Right.
with Dorian?
Right. Because he was also willing to leave with Aelin before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going back to Aniel.
Yeah. Also without discussing with Dorian.
Yeah.
Dorian had to find out through someone else, I think from the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. To me, that was also really painful. It's a small moment, but it means a lot because as someone as deeply loving as Dorian, to have to hear it from somewhere else that like you're leaving me basically forever.
Yeah, for real.
So now let's move on to Kale and Aelin's relationship. So we talked about how at the beginning they had a thing before he knew that she's Aelin, that she's Fae, and that she's killed other people, even though he knew all along she's an assassin.
But he wouldn't admit it at first. Too.
He wouldn't admit it. I feel like there wasn't actually that much of a difference in the way he's thought of her or treated her from before versus after.
Before what?
Before he knew that she's Aelin, that she's
same. He has always been judgmental of
Absolutely.
her. Going back to like him not admitting, he was like he wouldn't betray Dorian like that, and I'm like, but you did, you know. So like to me, it's like, okay, what's up with that? Again, Kale being Kale. I think there was definitely like a dynamic shift in this book.
Ooh.
Like we see when, you know, they work together, like Kale and Celaena, like Celaena just snores, kind of like sleep, and Kale saw it, and then they kind of have this like cute moment. I didn't buy it, but like, you know, I feel like it shifted. So to me, it wasn't as organic, like the Kale and Celaena thing. That's why I didn't really buy the relationship. I knew it was bound to end, you know?
Wait, as organic as the Dorian Celaena relationship, you mean?
Yeah, like it wasn't like, all of a sudden it just felt forced, like it's placed there.
Yes, it felt forced. And also, now I'm thinking in comparison to the Dorian Aelin relationship that you bring up, I feel like when they were under the clock tower and investigating, they didn't have to say to each other, oh, like, do this attack or do that. They all just knew, like, they were already partners, Dorian and Aelin. Versus with Kale, it's like, maybe because of his pride or maybe just because he's not as smart as Dorian, I don't know. But, like, Aelin has to, like, explicitly tell him things.
Yes.
And then even if she does, he still won't fully believe her.
Absolutely. We saw Celaena opens up about Sam too with Kale, which is like a very big thing. I was looking at stuff online and I've been seeing this a lot. They're saying that Celaena chose Kale over Dorian because he reminds her of Sam. Do you agree with that?
Ooh. I guess giving boy next door vibes, that's always what I've gotten from both of them, sure. But in terms of being a partner, no. I feel like Dorian's more of a partner than Kale. Yeah. How about you?
Same. She said, you remind me how the world ought to be what the world can be. I'm like, okay, why?
I know. Thank you. Like, do you all agree? Please leave a comment on that, because
can you
where'd that come from? Exactly.
Because Kale is what?
I know. Yeah. What?
Yeah. No one.
No, it was totally unearned. Or like we were just watching a movie last night, right? And the guy was like, I like you because you're so special. And we were both like, she's just like, sure, she's nice, but she's so ordinary. What do you mean?
But when he asked, is like, did Sam love you? And then Aelin was like, very much.
Oh.
And I was like, you see, like you could never
replace him.
Anyways, Kale's birthday. Did you like that? I was like, oh no. It's like Celaena making the effort.
Yeah.
Because Kale has always been like trying to hide the fact that he likes her, and so he wouldn't even do like those grand gestures.
But then she has to be the one.
She did, and I'm like, what are you doing? Seriously?
Yeah. It makes me think about that comment that you made for Akatar, where you said, if you could give this much to the wrong person, how much could you give to the right one?
Right. You see, these grand gestures is something that Kale wouldn't do that Dorian would definitely, absolutely do.
Right, would reciprocate tenfold.
Absolutely. But I think it also is so realistic in terms of like just being a girl.
Yeah, that she wanted to. Yeah.
Like I feel like sometimes I've seen this so many times, and maybe even for myself too. You know, sometimes as girls, like we like the challenge. Like let's say there's two guys in front of you and one is like already so perfect that he would give the world to you. Like I don't know why we would go for like a toxic relationship where we need to be the man of the relationship. And I feel like, you know, it happened to her too, which is so realistic as a young girl.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it too. I feel like it's a sense of like, I can make him mine. Like I could mold him. I could change him.
Yeah.
That type of attitude.
Yeah. It's part of growing up.
Yes,
It's part of learning
absolutely.
when it comes to love. And at the end of the day, I'm happy that she learned, because that experience actually, made her learn a lot and grow a lot in terms of love as well.
Yes.
But they did it.
Her
That
first.
frustrates me up until now. It's one of those things that, like, when you get asked in the future of like, oh, who's your first, or like,
Why couldn't it have been Sam
or Dorian?
Or Dorian.
If I was the girl, and I'm like, I'll be proud if it was Dorian. It's like, oh, like, even if I don't get asked, like, personally, I would, but like, Kale is like the guy that you dated or you hooked up with that you won't be proud of.
At least for now, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
like-
even later.
No, even later, like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
be proud, It's like if you went to high school together, like if you went to college together, and people ask you like, didn't you like date that guy? I was like,
Let's not talk about
yeah,
that.
let's not talk about that. Like, but if it was Dorian, it's like, hell yeah.
Wow. So Celaena was definitely very much in a love bubble. Like,
Yes.
ooh,
That was embarrassing for her.
it was honestly embarrassing. We felt the secondhand embarrassment as readers.
That was embarrassing.
I just kept asking, where the heck is this coming from?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
And then to the point where she left freaking everything in her will for him.
Ew.
Like, she could say all she wants about, like, it'll always be you, whatever, but the will.
Yeah.
And for someone who's worked her whole damn life to try to make up money to free herself.
I'll still pick you. I'll always choose
I
you.
know, like, what the heck?
Oh my god, like,
Cringe.
Celaena was so in love.
So in love, but delulu love.
Delulu
It wasn't real
love.
love. It was delulu love. I think, what if Sam was up there looking down being like,
Like,
girl,
Oof.
what are you doing?
I know. That's exactly like what I wrote on my book. I was like, what the heck are you doing, girl? Like, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
I mean, I'm guilty. I was
but we've all been there, but
we've all been there, but like,
watching it.
you know how like because like Celaena and Aelin has like, especially after reading the whole thing, right? It was like Celaena or Aelin is someone that you could not outsmart.
Yeah.
Like, she's so smart. She's the best at strategizing, but then you get to this
Love.
era of like her being so in love with Kale. It's like,
Oh my god, stop. Can you imagine if they adapted this series and you're seeing it visually? And then you're like, what?
They gotta make Kale really hot.
Oh,
They
okay.
gotta make him like
Okay.
so hot that we're like, well,
I guess I
like,
could see. Yeah.
But then Dorian would be hotter, so then it still wouldn't make sense.
Or at least personality 10 times better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a prince.
Cannot deny that. Another point about Kale is that I feel like he felt like he fought and sacrificed nearly as much as Celaena did to get where he is today. So he almost felt justified in the way he acted, the way he thought of her, just because he's like, well, I gave up the lordship of Aniel for this. Like, that's why I'm the Kingsguard. Like, what did you even do as an assassin type of thing? And I'm like, where's this even coming from? Like, what we talked about personally off camera about how, why does it even matter that you walked away? So what?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. Kale's just like, I think he's so full of himself, but then also he's concealing the fact that he hates himself. I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. All right, you ready for a game?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's do
random
this.
scenario generator. I have 4 questions. If you could learn only one weird mark spell, what would it be?
Ooh. World travel.
Ooh, okay, do tell.
I don't know. I just wanna like maybe, I'll open up a portal and then see Dorian.
I mean, she
At
dreams about Dorian, guys.
At any time of the day. And then I don't know, go and meet with Rowan. I don't know. It's just like there's so many things that you can do in your day instead of like traveling so far every single time.
It's a drag.
What's yours? I'm curious.
Ooh, feeling people's emotions.
Ooh, that's deep. I don't want that. I would travel. Like maybe even the world travel. Maybe I could travel to like Belarus or something and be back at Otterland as the queen of Otterland. At the end of the day.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that for you. By the way, guys, she has dreams about having dinner with Dorian.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just manifesting this weird
I'm
mark
the
spell.
Queen of Otterland, and he's the King of Otterland.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Question 2. If Aelin fell into the ocean and could not swim, who would save her first, Dorian or Kale?
First, I feel
First.
like because they would do both. Like both of them would actually do. I could see Kale saving her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Kale would save her. I think Dorian would too, but because he's a prince, I feel like people would be like, no, like let Kale do it and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Let Kale be the hero because the prince needs to be saved or not risk himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of the same with like who killed King.
Ooh, I see.
Remember when Dorian was like, I should have been the one who killed him, but then it was Kale who did because obviously he has, yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to try to reframe the question. If both Dorian and Aelin fell into the ocean, they both could not swim, who would Kale save first?
Dorian.
Ooh, yeah.
He might not know it yet, but Dorian.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. 3. If you could only ask Nehemia one question when you summon her, what would you ask?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Is that a question or a statement? She'll be like, "Excuse me."
No. Let's give a proper answer to that. Why didn't you just tell me?
Oh.
Yeah.
I could see that if she asked that, they would both be bawling.
Yeah.
Do you think then, in which case, if that happened, do you think Nehemia would regret having done what she did?
No.
No. Okay.
She's a princess. She'd be too proud.
Too proud.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she'd be like, I needed to do what I needed to do.
All right.
Yeah.
And last question.
Hence, that's why that friendship would not really work, you know?
The pride.
Yeah.
Got in the way.
Yeah.
The last question. If you could shapeshift like Aelin, would you stay in your fae or human form?
Ooh, human form.
Oh.
And can use the power still?
Yeah, you could still use a power.
Human form.
Ooh.
Because, like, why not? You'd be so cool as a human.
Oh.
Yeah.
People would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like Dorian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dorian? Oof.
Wait, and then you both would be king and queen of Otterland with fae
yeah,
powers
for
but
sure.
human
But
body.
human bodies, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, favorite moments and quotes. I narrowed mine down to 3.
Go for it.
But I'll go and then we'll go back forth. Volley. How about that?
Sure.
Okay. So, first one, it's when there was a viewpoint from an LOA slave who had survived because she was hoping for Nehemia's comeback. And when she found out that Nehemia died, she basically just started a rebellion at the slave encampment. And to me, we get very few glimpses of the people who are really impacted by everything that's going on. Like with Adderlyn, with Terrasen, with the future, even in the future of the series. And so for this moment to be inserted from a perspective of someone like a young girl who's impacted as a slave, to me, that was really deep.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments is when Dorian said, consider where your true loyalties lie. I think that's a really big thing. And I feel like now that I think about it, it's some sort of like an Easter egg.
Oh.
Because we see that hardship, right? Like of Kale not really knowing where his true loyalties lie. And he still couldn't decide even after like the next 2 books.
That's true. The second is a quote. I want you to know that in the darkness of the past 10 years, you were one of the bright lights for me. Do not let that light go out. So that was Nehemia to Aelin when Aelin summoned her. And for me, it was late. Way too late. Too late. She should have said it when she was alive.
And you didn't act like it. Like,
exactly.
I don't mind, like, if you don't say it, fine, but act like it.
Yep. She did not live up to the quote, but the quote itself was meaningful for Aelin, I think. Even though, kind of like how Aelin was delulu about Kale, she was also delulu about Nehemia. So anything they said or did just meant way too much
This
to
is her delulu phase, huh?
It is. You know it is.
I already said the other favorite moment that I had was when Celaena almost killed Kale.
Yeah. Also, I did not expect it to.
Yeah.
Did not.
But I don't know why. I feel like it was just like so like girl finally woke up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, as we
But
were just saying.
But did she though? But
did she though?
You know?
But she was having a delulu face like we just talked about. And
but
we
it's
needed
a start.
her.
Yeah.
It's a start.
It's a start.
It was almost like we were shouting at her this whole book, like, Aelin, what are you doing?
Yeah. Exactly.
My last one was with a moment when Fleetfoot was defending Celaena from the monster.
So cute.
Fleetfoot. Oh.
From Dorian, by the way.
I know. Dorian's so sweet and Fleetfoot's so sweet. Like tiny little being, but he's like, I'm gonna save my girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about when Kale saved Fleetfoot?
Then I was like, sure. How about you?
All right. At least do something right.
Yes, for once.
And then Celaena saved Kale, and then he's still so ungrateful.
I know. Still
Come
so
on.
judgy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, let's get to the next game.
Mm.
Finish the sentence.
Okay.
Right. I feel like some of this are like so easy because we talked about it a bit, but let's still do it. All right. First, Celena's biggest red flag is
When she said, I will always come back to you, or to something like that.
pick you.
I will always pick you to Kale. Stop
Yeah.
it, girl.
Okay, this is easy, but if I was Celaena, I would choose blank because blank.
Ooh. I would choose, if I were Celaena, I would choose Dorian because he's a partner, a real partner.
The tension between Celaena and Kale is
Kale is too full of pride, too self-loathing, and projects it on her.
if I could rewrite one thing in this book, it would be
The whole Kale Aelin relationship. I changed it to a Dorian Aelin relationship.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. If I had magic like Dorian, the first thing I would do is
And I could do anything with this magic.
yeah. He has raw magic, so he could do anything.
I would read the minds of my dad, the king.
Oh, the scene that emotionally destroyed me was
Oh, there's too many, but
just one.
just one. When she went to Dorian's room afterward and he said that you always have a home here.
Oh. Lastly, Nehemiah's death was
Unnecessary.
yes, I agree with this word. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Woo! So general discussion, I have 2 points.
Okay. I don't have anything, so just
Okay, I'll go off. So the way Dorian moved on from Celaena, but was still able to be so supportive of them as a friend, it's a reflection of him having the emotional intelligence to handle people who are also going through healing and struggling with problems, like both Kale and Aelin were at the time. So like even when in the future when he meets Manan, like she's not whole. Like obviously she's a very strong witch, but she's still struggling through things. And it makes me think about from Crescent City when Hunt is like, woman, you have a chip on your shoulder. Like Dorian is the type of guy or character to be able to notice when people are like projecting or not being themselves and identify that and then accept them for who they are now, but help them grow further.
absolutely. Yeah. And thinking about that when you said that like Kale or like Aelin has some issues to work with, right? But even Dorian has to, you know? It's like, but he's still like so forgiving about it. He's so understanding and he never really take it against anyone.
Absolutely.
Like even with Kale, like we see him, you know, like be real with Kale and like, bruh. But he would never, you know, kind of like take it against Kale.
Yes. And he also doesn't self-loathe to the extent that other people do.
Yeah.
Like he will sometimes make bad calls. Although I can't even think of one off the top of my head.
I don't think he does.
And he never does, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But let's say he did. Even if he did, I feel like he's not the type to just like let that weigh him down. He would accept it
Yeah.
and move forward from it.
So then let's get to the final ratings then. I'm going to start.
Yeah.
It was my second least favorite after
Okay.
Throne of Glass. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was second to the least favorite.
But I love this book when I first read it. I devoured this book when I
Yeah?
first read it. Yeah.
Okay.
I gave it like a 4.75.
Ooh.
Because it does, like, everything just started making sense.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this book. And like, okay, like maybe like the 0.25 was like, oh, because I didn't really like the Kale and like Celaena part, but I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, like Dorian having magic, you know.
Oh, you're eating up all the Dorian parts.
Dorian parts.
Yeah.
Celaena being actually Aelin, you know, being Fae and like having that power. I was like, okay, like it's now coming together. But
Yeah.
it's still like my second to the least favorite because guys, the rest of the books are insanely
Insane.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god. Well, keep with us because we're going to continue this for 2 months.
Yes, exactly. So the next week we start talking about Era of Fire. We will sail to Wenlin for another era of growth for Aelin and meet the new MMC of this series, Rowan Whitethorn. So
Rowan.
until then,
See you next week, besties.
see ya.